Hi, Alan James here from Color in Your Life. Hey, now that you've got your footage down in your computer, I'm going to show you how to edit that in a software program. And this one's called Filmora 10. So I'm going to get you familiar with Filmora. So now that we've got it open here, I'm going to bring this down. That's me. Hi folks. Hi. And the first thing you want to do is you want to bring your footage down into the program. And you can see I have it open here. It's a brand new project. That's the word I was looking for. We have a brand new project. This window here is for bringing your footage in. This window down here is for editing. And this window on the right-hand, upper right-hand is for viewing. So we're just going to simply go the old-fashioned way, File, import media files, and I'm going to bring in this business right here. This is a project I did back in the fall of last year of a local artist. So I'm going to open this up and see what it looks like here. And right away it comes down into the media box. Now I can just drag this now into the timeline. This is called the timeline. Yeah. And this is the playback right here. I'm going to bring this in right in here and just bring it to the beginning. Okay, so now you can see we have all this footage here, and there's video and audio. So chances are we're not going to want to keep all the footage that's in there. There's going to be all kinds of weird stuff that we don't want in the film. So let's listen to it right now and see. I can already tell there's going to be stuff at the beginning we're going to want to get rid of. Okay, so let's listen to it.
We got rolling on 2.
Audio is good.
On 3. Audio's looking good.
Hello, hello, test, test. If I talk a little loud. Okay, so that was the setup of the filming that I did with Howard Park. So I can see all this footage I do not want in the front. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. I'm going to scrub this, which scrubbing means you're just going across and seeing where it really starts out. And let's see what's going on here. Maybe I want this. Let's see. All right, that's the next point. So we can cut back in here. Okay, so right here, I'm going to take that and I'm just going to take the scissors tool right here. Let's get familiar with what we can do in the editing. We have a scissors, we have all kinds of stuff we can do. So we can actually cut into this where we want to start. So just right here I can hit, or up here you can see the split tool, which looks like scissors. Okay, a lot of different ways to call this, and different programs have different names for it. So well, we're just going to call it the scissors tool. And watch what happens when I hit it. All right, so now if you look down on here, you can see I have 2 separate film clips. Okay, so this is the one I didn't want. I simply go, I can push delete on my computer. I can go up here and delete. You can see a little trash thing there. Or just do it on your computer. I'll just do it here because you could see what's happening there. So I'll show you what I mean there. So just going to delete that. And now that automatically deletes it and brings it this right to the back to the beginning. That's one of the things you can do, is get rid of the unwanted footage. And that helps you to, it helps you clean up things. Now, the next step I want to talk about is we've got the footage in there, and we learned about slicing some stuff out, but we can also trim stuff out. So if we go down to the back here, the end, and incidentally, you have a shortcut for that on your keyboard. If you look at the keyboard here, you have home and end. So if you push home, you'll go all the way to the beginning, and if you push end, you'll go to the end. So there you go. You can see now the playback is here at the end. So let's see at the end, there might be something I want to trim off of that. Step out a shot at this point, and I'm going to let Howard do his thing. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
All right, so right there, that little end, I don't need that in there. So I'm going to take the trim tool, and that's just, if you line up your cursor, first you have to select it. So when you see this white mark around here, it's selected. Then I take, and you can see there's a double arrow and a double bar there. I can just move that out of the way. So now that's two ways you can edit your footage. You can delete it by splitting the clip with the scissors tool, and you can also trim it. So now we're going to talk about bringing audio down into your project. Now we've already got this audio that was assigned, you know, it was recorded with the camera, the original camera. But now I've recorded audio separately, so on a different machine. So I'm going to bring that audio in and try to match it up. I'm going to show you how to do that. So again, we'll go to File, Import Media Files, and here it is right here sitting waiting for me. I'll just open that up, and here it is. It shows up here, and I could just take that again just like I did the video and drag that down into a channel, and you can see on the left here there's two little notes here that tells you, musical notes, that tells you that this is a audio track. So chances are that this is not lined up at all, so I'm going to show you how to take audio when you bring it in there and match it to other audio so that you don't have this craziness, okay? So let's expand this by going over to the zoom bar here, and we'll be able to see the different audio things here. So if what we want to do is we want to look for a pattern, or if we had lucky enough to remember to clap, we'll look for a spike in the audio to line that up. But I don't think I did it in this one. Let me move me out of the way. And let's just listen to it very carefully here and see what we got here. So I'll start from the beginning.
Rolling on 2.
Audio is good.
3. Audio is looking good.
Hello, test, test. If I talk a little loud, we still good?
Talk loud.
Hello, test, test. Yeah, see, that's way off. So I'm going to try to match that by listening to them one at a time, and then I'll make a mark to locate where it is. Okay, so let's mute out. On the left-hand side, I have a little speaker I can hit to mute this audio out. Now I'm just going to listen to the top audio that came with the camera.
Rolling on 2.
Audio is good.
3. Audio is looking good.
Hello, test. I think I'll use that hello as a marker right there because I don't see any spikes. So I'm going to now mute that and listen and unmute the bottom one and listen for hello. And I think by looking at this, it's probably over here. Let's see. Hello, test. There it is. So now I can go over to the right-hand side, and you'll see this icon looks like a baseball plate again, almost like the playback head. And let's hit that marker, and you can see now it's in the original recording up here, this little blue icon here. I'll now take and move this until it lines up with that. So I'm going to move that so it lines up, and that looks pretty darn good. Let's listen to it. Hello, test, test. If I talk a little loud, we still good? Okay, so that's pretty much lined up. Might be a hundredth of a millisecond off, but you get the point. So that is how you bring in audio and then edit it and then align it. So I hope you got something out of that. Okay, so we've got our camera 1 is down, and we brought it in, and now we have another angle, camera 2, and we want to bring that in and slice it and dice it into what we call a B-roll. And I'm going to show you how we do that in just a second. All right, so here I am. I've got the original camera 1 down here, and you can see it up in the import window here. So I'll bring in another camera angle of the same footage. And actually, let's try another way. We'll right-click, import, and we'll go to cam. Let's go back to. We'll go to cam 3, and pick this one and open the file. Okay, so now it shows up in the import window. The media window is the better name for it. So I'm going to break this so I can see it over in the viewer. I'll double-click. And you can see it's
looking good.
Hello, test, test. If I talk a little loud, we still good? So you can see that's a different angle than the other one that's down below. We'll take a look at that now down below here.
Oh, absolutely.
That's from the center. Double click.
Audio is looking good.
This is from the right-hand side. So we're going to try to match these two up. We'll we'll find a place in here where there's a click or a snap or some kind of cue that where our start part is, and let's see if we can listen for that right here on the original camera 1.
All right, I'll snap to sync it.
And you hear there was a videographer saying, "I'll snap to sync it," and then you heard. So that's a good way to mark your videos, your footage, so that you can line them all up later on. Because I use three cameras most of the time. So we got it down in here. I'm going to listen for camera 3 here. All right, so I think it's right about here where the snap is. I hope so.
Dated you, by the way.
All right, I'll snap to sync it.
There it is right there. So on my right-hand side of the viewer window, I've got these 2 brackets. One is to mark the in point, and this one is to mark the out point. So I'm going to hit the in point right there, and you can see what happens. It's teal colored all the way up to the in point, and then gray after that. So now I'm going to take about, usually on the B-roll you want 5 seconds a clip. You don't want any more than that, so you come back and forth with the A-roll and the B-roll, but the A-roll is the predominant. The B-roll gets 5-second clips every now and then. So here we go. I'm going to play this from here. Okay, good. We're ready to go?
Yep.
Good.
All right, so here we are in Howard Park studio in this old building. It's a historic building. Okay, so I'm going to just bring that in right up to that point. And now these 2 areas right here, that's all that's going to come in down here. So it's a really cool way to bring in your B-roll. You can do it you can bring the whole footage down here and do it down here, but this is, I think, a little bit easier way to do it. All right, and you don't have to render. We're going to talk about render in a minute. All right, so in a second. So I'm going to just drag from here and bring that down to here. Okay, and I'll make this a little bigger by clicking on the timeline and pulling to the right, and that's another way to zoom. All right, so now if you look at this carefully in this area right here, there's a little red mark there. Okay, you see it's closing up. Well, that's because it's being rendered. I have automatic render on. But if it's a bigger file, it goes a little slow, and you can come over to this button right on the right-hand side here, and we'll show you that one in a minute. So now I'm going to listen to see if these are synced up. They're probably a little off, but we'll give it a go.
All right, I'll snap to sync it.
Okay, good. We're ready to go?
Yep.
Good.
All right, so here we are in the Howard Park studio in this old building. Well, I got lucky and it's synced up pretty good. It might be a little bit off, but that's a good way to do it. So you get it up here first in the viewer window and bring it down. Let's just say we don't want the B-roll there. We can edit it down in here now. I can make sure though when you're pulling, when you have the B-roll down here, that this little guy right here, okay, it's called the ripple tool. I think it should be called the snap tool, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to undo this and I'm going to pull this out like this. And say I want to cut into here somewhere. I want the A-roll to start the thing and then the B-roll to be later. If I have this unchecked, it'll cooperate. But if I have it on, watch what happens. So I'm going to turn it on by clicking on it. I'm going to go to an area in the middle. I'm going to take the scissors tool right here and click, and you can see I made a cut right in the middle. And I'll make another cut right here. And then I'll delete this highlighted one and watch what happens to the one in the back. It goes forward into here. And that's not what we want in the B-roll. Okay? So I'm going to undo that by Control-Z. I accidentally had this highlighted as well and took everything out of there. So what we want to do is I'm going to hit Control-Z again and undo everything that I did before so we have a full clip here. I'm going to click on this auto ripple and turn it off. Now I want to eliminate some of the front of this, so I'll hit the scissors tool here, click on this, and delete you can delete on your keyboard pad, or you can come up to here where you have a trash can, and you can hit that button. And you can see it deleted it, but it didn't pull the video forward and aggravate me. So it took me a while to discover this one when I first learned this. So this is a very, very important thing to remember. That little ripple tool can be ripping, roaring, crazy. So, all right, so I've got a bit of A-roll that starts the thing, and I want to make some B-roll here. I can cut again here, and then I can also trim now. So I'm going to take this guy right here and just pull it. Wait a minute. We've got too many things highlighted. So just going to take this and pull it back to here. And now we've got A-roll here, B-roll here, or I could call it main camera here, secondary camera here. And let's watch that in action. So we'll start it from the top. And here we go.
All right, I'll snap to sync it.
Okay,
and we
good.
should be
We're
good.
ready to go?
Yep.
Good.
All right, so here we are in the Howard Park studio in this old building. It's a historic building called Velvet Mill, I think it's called.
That's correct. It's the American Velvet Mill.
And what's the history behind this?
Well, in the 1880s, the borough of Stonington wanted to have some industry.
So you saw that we had the main camera come in to start with, the secondary camera came in later, and then we went back to the first camera. So that's how you put your secondary camera, camera 2, in, and then we take it and cut it into what we call B-roll. Okay, so keep the B-roll, each clip around 5 seconds each, and maybe the A-roll for anywhere from 8 to 24 seconds. That's a little tip, by the way. All right, so I hope you got that, figured it out. We'll see you next time in the next chapter. All right, so it's time to put some music in. You know, it makes it a lot more interesting to have what they call music beds. Now, music beds really sweeten up the thing, so it's not, you're just not listening to people talking. It makes it a really a nice experience for the listener and the viewer. So here I am here. Now, I have my own music. If you have your own music, you can import it the same way you did with your audio and your video tracks. I'm going to go back to media, and again, I'll go to File, Import Media, and I'll go to my folder that I've been going to, and I'll look for music beds. But here it is. And these are songs that I have in my own library of music. You know, I wrote these songs and played these songs, by the way. Okay, so I'm thinking, what do I want here? Alan's guitar tracks. That's what I want. And that's going to come in right here. Let's audition that. That's the one I want. So I just brought that in. Oh, it's perfect for this. Okay, so now I've got the one I want in here, and this one I don't need, so I'm just going to actually delete it. So, and now we have the one I wanted, and I'm just going to now drag that in. Let's make this smaller down here so you can see the other channels. Okay, so open track, adjust track height to normal. And now you'll be able to see, I'll be able to drag this in, and it's going to create its own track right here. It just knows to do that. So right down to the beginning, and you can see it created the double notes here. And audio 1 is here, and audio 2 is here. So now let's listen to everything from the beginning with the soundtrack, with the music bed. Impressed with is the journey you took when you circumnavigated. Hey, that sounds pretty good. So that's bringing music beds in. That's a lot of fun to do. And next we're going to be talking about doing credits and text, and then finally export. And that's the final frontier. So stay tuned, don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, now that we've got all this under our belt, all these nice things, these editing tools in our brain, let's take us over to a few more. I want to talk about putting credits and texts and then exporting, but I forgot about one thing. You can also add stills to your to make it, you know, to make it more interesting. We can add stills to the thing. So, and what we're going to do with stills is we're going to put them right where we put the video. So, again, they have. I have my own stills already waiting for me in my folder. So again, I'll just go import. And this time I'll try Control-I. And there it goes. That works too. That's a shortcut. We should learn all the shortcuts, you know. Anyway, so I'll go into my folder that says stills. You can see that on the bottom here. And these are some of the paintings that this artist did. And other stills that I have alongside. This is Howard Park, great artist from Stonington, Connecticut. So anyway, I'll just bring one of those in. Let's just see what we got here. We'll just bring a painting in, any one of these paintings, sailboat, whatever. We'll bring a few of them in. Anyway, here now we have our stills, and if we click on them, they'll show up in the viewer. That's a nice little painting there, Howard. All right. So we can just drag that down anywhere we want. So let's see somewhere where it might be, we'll just drag it anywhere, it doesn't matter. And again, what we put on the top will take over what's below it. So I'll just grab this and just put it anywhere. I'll just put it like right here. So let's just run that and see what it looks like. Here's the A-roll.
The whole time. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I did a lot of line and wash and a lot of watercolors in those days because oil on a boat is
painting.
Difficult.
So that's something you can do. You can bring in. I just wanted to get that through so that with the music you got going there, you got the A-roll, the B-roll, and now the stills. Now we've got a project going. Okay, so what's next here? Well, we're done. Say we're done with the film and we want to put some credits in, we can do that at the end. So let's go and do that right now. So I'm going to shrink this down a little bit by hitting the zoom negative button here. Now I can see the end, and I can push end on my keyboard, and it'll bring the cursor right to the end, just like that. Isn't that neato? So now we can add credits. So I'm going to look at titles, and let's see if they have a typical credit at the end. Here we go, credits. There's a scroll credit that you would normally see. Let's just take this one right here, generic one, see what it looks like. All right, there you go. And I'm going to just throw that at the end here like this. We'll put that on the A-roll. And it's very short. So let's see, let's look, we'll zoom in. And then if we want to edit it, we just simply we double click on any one of these and you change it to whatever you want. I'll put my name because I'm famous in my own mind. Whoops, we got to delete what's there already, don't we? So we'll do that. Alan, what's my name? Okay, James. Starring Alan James. So that's how you do that. That's the credits at the end. So let's watch that. We'll just go over here. All right, so put the credits in, and there it is. All right, so what we can do is put what we call transitions. Okay, so we can transition, and it just smooths things off. So I'm just going to go up to, say okay to this. I'm just going to go up to this, up here in the top left corner, right there, called transitions. Let's try with dissolve, and I'm going to drag it down, and I'm going to put it in between the two clips. You see that right there? Watch this. All right, so, and now it dissolves. That's a lot better. So that's a little bit more professional looking than just an abrupt ending. So now let's talk about adding text with, besides just the credits. I want to put text like, say, over a still image. Let's find out how to do that. So this is one of Howard Park's paintings. I'm going to add some text to that. And the way to do that is you go up to the top left here, right here, and you hit titles. I'm looking for something that's not so gaudy. This one looks pretty good right here. Let's use this one here. And we can drag that right down into here like that and put it over the top. Okay, so let's just see what it looks like right now. Right now, I think it just says lower third 5. Let's see.
Line and wash and a lot of watercolors in those days because
that's gorgeous. All right, so that's something you'd see in a lot of videos, art videos. So then you just double click on it and change it. So I'm going to call this sailboats. Oh, is that one word? I think it is. Sailboats. Is it? I don't know. Let's try it. Separating it. I don't know. We'll leave it separated. Somebody's going to have to write into me and tell me if sailboats is 1 or 2 words. Because I don't know. Kind of flunked English. All right, so, and let's put the author. And we'll say Howard Parks. So now we might want to make that smaller. I don't know if we can do that or not, but let's see. It looks like we can. If I highlight it, like that, I can go into text size and over here in this bit here and make that maybe 18. And now you got sailboats and Howard Park. Sorry, Howard. And just click OK. And then let's take the playhead and move it back a little bit, and let's see the transitions we got now.
Line and wash and a lot of watercolors in those days because oil on a boat is a little difficult.
All right, so that's what you can do. Also, besides the end credits, you can put text in over the top of things. So in this case, we put it over the top of a still image, but you can throw it right into the video too. It'll work that way. Okay, so the final frontier is here. We're going to export this out. So here I go, and the best way to do that, there's a bunch of ways to do that, of course, is you have a big button here that says export. All right, so we'll just hit this one, the obvious one, export. So we'll hit OK, and then it'll start exporting, and pay attention to where it's going, okay? And then we push the export button, and you can see time remaining is 10 minutes, 35 seconds. So we'll wait for that. I hope you got something out of this today. I'm really glad to be of help. My name is Alan James. I am the host of Put Some Color in Your Life, East Coast. So see ya. Have a good video session. Don't pull all your hair out. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.